Welcome, everybody, to episode 8 of The Rebellion. I'm your host, Tyson Smith, and today we have an amazing guest. He is somebody who I absolutely look up to. He is jacked, tan, he's got tattoos, and he's absolutely crushing in real estate. Everybody, today we have Ryan Overcash. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate the intro. Amazing to be here. Glad to be here. Watch your podcast. I told Daniel before I got on here, I'm all, dude, I got to get on here because this guy brings the energy. When I'm around someone else like yourself that has the energy, it just brings out the best of me. So super excited to be on here, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, absolutely likewise. I mean, so we initially, it was interesting because last time we talked was at the bar before the wholesale sharks thing.
Yeah.
And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, dude, I absolutely, like, that's one thing I love about these events is being around people with, like, the same kind of energy, who are really excited, who attack life, who are totally after it. Where it totally makes a world of difference than when you hang around, like, you ever been in a waiting room or something like that, and you're just surrounded by people, and you can just feel, like, the energy being sucked out of you? Yeah. It's, like, depressing.
Absolutely, bro. I had I have a really good friend, not gonna say any names, but haven't really hung out with him that much last, say, 2 years, just been in the fight, kind of like what you were talking about before we jumped on here, as far as it's grind season right now, right? Mm-hmm. So recently I went over just to go hang out, and speaking of energy suck, when I went there, I didn't realize like what people talk about, like when they don't have major aspirations of what they're going after, and they just gossip.
Yes. And
I couldn't believe it. I'd never felt so out of place sitting there. I didn't even really stay long. I watched part of the game, had to do what I had to do, and then I bailed out of there. But that really spoke to me right there in that moment of who you want to surround yourself, how that affects your energy, right? Your frequency, how you vibrate. And then I just thought with what you just said there, that was a perfect moment to bring that up and talk about that.
No, it's such a good point because I was talking to Temp about this last week, is like when you do find yourself and you have these crazy aspirations like we do, especially when we're building businesses, there are some people who maybe you used to be very good friends with, that it's not the same anymore because exactly like you said, what they talk about. Like sometimes it's like when I look back, I used to love, hanging out with my buddies, drinking and talking about funny stories from the past and things like that.
Right.
And now I absolutely reject all of that. It's like, dude, I do not want to talk about the past. I mean, yes, that's all fun, good times we had, but I'm trying to look forward. I'm trying to talk about what it is I'm going to do and what we're, going to be working on. I'm trying to talk about ideas, not memories.
Right. That's the old version of me. I think that's kind of what you're saying,
yes.
Right? That's the old version of me. Again, it happened. I love it, but that's not paying me anything. It's not paying me any dividends, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the money, but it's not helping me providing any part of value in my life other than lessons learned, right?
Yes.
Lessons learned, experience. Okay, take that into the forefront right now, and let's just not repeat that. Let's
Absolutely.
do some better stuff.
Absolutely. So, Ryan, will you tell everybody kind of what you're working on right now?
Yes, absolutely. So everyone, right now working on a multitude of projects, trying to figure out what's really going to work right now, what we can put on the side. But we are big on JV, so joint ventureship. We help people nationwide move deals. Not only move deals, my partner Max Jimenez is good, which Max. He's amazing at negotiation and sales. So people who are having trouble locking up deals at the right price to move it in today's market, we can help you with that. So if you're needing help again, locking up deals or even moving them in today's market, we have a program we can help you out with. There's a link in my bio on IG at Real Ryan Overcash. Make sure you check that out. On the other aspect, right now, I don't know if you're aware of this, Tyson. I'm doing a wholesale intensive. 5-week course right now, just helping individuals who are basically coming over into this industry from another industry and don't know where to start.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of people, I don't know if you ran into this, but when I tried to start, I couldn't find the help. There wasn't IG, YouTube wasn't really big around then. So I just ran into a lot of walls. I didn't know what to do. I had all the energy.
But you needed some guidance.
I needed some guidance.
Yes.
Right. So that's really what's motivated me to do my wholesaling intensive. So thank you for all the people who join that and who follow me on that. Anyone who needs help with stuff like that, with wholesaling, getting in the business, again, I can help with that. So don't want to talk too much about all these programs that we got going on.
I do want to hear more about this because, look, Ryan makes an excellent point. Back when you got started, there wasn't Instagram. There wasn't all these places where you can learn. Now, today, there is, and there's information everywhere.
Yeah.
The problem is is that people have learned that you can make a lot of money teaching people how to do this, and they don't necessarily know how to do it themselves. Where you, top to bottom, know this business, you know how to do it well, and you do it at an extremely high level. So you're absolutely someone where if I'm coming on the scene, I want to learn from a guy like you. So Ryan, you said before, if they are interested, well, first walk me through what is the 5-week wholesaling intensive going to be?
Yeah, so 5 weeks, basically from the very beginning. I'm getting people, again, who don't understand the difference between sellers, buyers, rehabbers, fix and flip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really at that level, not understanding the contract part, right? What type of agreements to use, how do you use them? So we're going all the way from the beginning on as far as how do you find leads, the different marketing channels, right? The different ways, whether you have time capital, or whether you have money capital, right? What you can do there, whether you're buying leads, door knocking. So I'm taking them through door knocking, driving for dollars. If they want to buy leads, they have the money to do that. Some sources that I've used that have been successful for myself and, other people like yourself, right? Because we all talk, we collaborate. And again, that's the power of networking is you get to leverage the network, right?
Yes.
Along with it. So then I brought in some what am I trying to say here? Just some guest speakers. Like this week was Max. So week 2 was negotiations. Okay. So obviously I brought in, the best Max Jimenez for negotiations. Next week we have Corey Geary for Novation Nation.
Amazing.
So again, right, we're talking about people who are doing deals right now in today's market, and not just doing deals, doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Right. And when we are going through what we're going through right now, we got to pivot. That's the big word. Everyone uses pivot, so I'll use the cool word these days, right? I'm a cool kid saying pivot. But there's other options, right? If you can't wholesale, maybe Novation is an option, right? So that's who we got, Corey Geary. After that, followed him is Mike Termini. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him because he's new to the social media scene, although he's old school. I call him a dinosaur. Cash Money Mike, I'm calling you out. And that's Cash Money with a K. You know Cash Money.
Yes. Right? Okay. So because I saw who he was, and I texted him, and I was like, hey, do you want to come? Like, I was inviting him to our wholesaling program, and he was like, hey, bro. And then he was like, nah, like, I'm not doing that. Like, thanks, whatever. And I started looking through his profile, and I was like, holy shit. I'm watching him structure these crazy seller finance deals. I was like, I need to learn from this guy.
Yes, dude, he is a genius with that stuff. That is his niche, and he's amazing. We happened to meet him talking again. This is the power of networking and surrounding yourself with amazing people. Max and I went to Wholesaling Live, and so did Daniel. Daniel's over there. You can't see him off camera. But we all went to San Antonio for Wholesaling Live, and it was amazing. A live event where actual cold calling was going on and closing deals live at the event, which Max was part of the event. That's why I ended up got invited with Max. He closed 2 deals, by the way, live. Yeah. Right. That is crazy. 2 deals live. But anyways, this is where we met Cash Money Mike. There was a group of guys, Tony Monteblano, Cash Money Mike, Eric Klein, Seamus Goss, Sonia Ray. These are all, again,
really
high level people that I've heard of and I've known of and I've maybe waved to, but never have really spoken to. So that's finally a time that I got to connect with all of them and get to know them on a personal level, which was awesome. And that's where we made the real connection with Mike. And he actually flew out to see me the night that we talked at Wholesale Sharks.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought he was local.
No, he's in North Carolina. I don't remember if it's Raleigh or Charlotte, one of those two. My bad if I don't remember Cash Money.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. So he flew out, man. Just that's again the type of guy he is, type of friend he is, right? You make that connection, provide value to each other, and he was here for one night, just show support. This one, obviously, I'm a little nervous. That was my first speaking gig.
Yeah.
I get nervous doing these things, but I want to win, and so I put myself in a position to win, regardless of how I feel.
So I talked about this in one of my first episodes. There's this amazing quote. It's long-winded, but it's about being the man in the arena, and basically it talks about you have all these people who will watch and they will scoff at the man in the arena when he falters or any of these things, but nothing matters than the guy who's actually putting himself through it. So I compare that to like stepping on and being on these kinds of things, doing a podcast or speaking on stage, where it's a crazy fucking rush, like you get super nervous beforehand, and it's a lot of pressure to go out there and perform. And even though it's something where you have all this latent value that you need to give these people who are coming to these events to learn, but you put yourself through it and go out there and do it.
Yep.
And I kind of love it now. I'm to the point where I'm sort of like chasing that rush. But I think it is an amazing thing, and that is where, you know, there's no growth in comfort.
No.
So you got to step outside your comfort zone and go out there and go perform and do those things,
right.
because that's what's gonna, you know, shape you into the person that you need to be.
Yeah, check this out. You probably wouldn't believe this, Tyson. This morning I get up, you know, do my morning thing. I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and I think about this, and I go, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? How can I get out of this? Like, that thought goes through your head, but it's not a real thought. I catch it because I'm aware of it now. Back in the day, this would have stopped me. I would have, you know, freaked out, right? This is part of the growth. That's why we're talking about growing and being aware. So I thought of that, like when that thought went through my head, I just smiled. I go, Ryan, you're so funny. You're going to go and you're going to have a great experience.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? That's such a great point, is that I think people feel like, especially with social media, and they see all these people and they talk, like people like me, I'm always talking about, bro, just shut the fuck up and do things. Go out and do it. But even everybody, you have these thoughts where it's like, oh shit, like I don't want to do that. And that is scary. And these things, like I talked about on my story the other day, I had an intrusive thought where I was like, dude, the new Call of Duty came out, and I was like, I don't really want to go to the office today. I'd rather like just fucking post up at home. I've been working really hard. Like I've been busting my ass all weekend. I worked through the weekend. Mom, you know, poor me.
Yeah, those voices.
Like, let's just take this Monday off and play Call of Duty.
Right.
But exactly like you said, is I caught it. And I realized, I was like, that's just my bitch voice talking to me.
There you go.
And you know what? We all have a bitch voice, but it's just whether you know how to tell that bitch voice to shut the fuck up, take a back seat, and you're going to go do the shit that you need to do.
100%, bro.
But it takes time to learn. And the first step is being able to recognize it.
Yep. 100%, dude. I love that. And, you know, to go just with me and my journey, when I would listen to that bitch voice, right? When I would fail and not fight through it, I would look back, because I'm a performer. I want to do good. I do have those aspirations. So at the end of the night, I'm thinking back like, oh man, I didn't go to the gym today because I didn't feel like it. I ate that crappy meal because I was lazy, and I should have been making those calls at 5 o'clock, but at 4 o'clock, I was like, nah, I mailed it in because I'm going to go hard tomorrow. That hurts, and that pisses me off so much. The pain of that is worse than the pain of just pushing through it.
Absolutely.
But like you said, it takes time of burning yourself on the stove, so to speak.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, that sucks. That's burning me too much. It's costing my family too much. It's costing me too much. However, you need to categorize that to mean something to you until you just stop doing it, because you know it's not getting you anywhere.
Well, you have to make a choice. Do I want to suffer now or later? And suffering later is always worse.
Yep. Oh man, that's a good point. I haven't heard that in a long time. That's awesome, and that's a really good point. A friend, sorry to keep going, but I just thought you brought up a good spot there. A guy we work with, again, won't call out names, was like, well, hey, what if you never get there? Right? Like, I could break this all the way down, but you know, you already know what I'm trying to say. And I look at him, I'm like, do you think you're going to get better along the way? Do you think you're going to improve along the way, and you're going to have a mind shift, and different things are going to come in your direction because of your mindset, what you're going after? Do you not think those are possibilities, even if you don't hit whatever goal that is? And you know, that spoke to him a little bit, but it was just different to hear from a younger person of what if you don't make it. Again, not a growth mindset.
Well, here's another thing. What is making it? Because I've realized that as I'm kind of on this journey and I'm climbing the mountain, and there's always a peak, right? And you know that, okay, that's what I'm searching for. But as you start to get up there, you start to notice other peaks. Yes. And then all of a sudden, you start going there. You're never going to fucking make it.
No.
That's not the idea.
Never finished.
Right, yeah, you're always going, you're always chasing something, because that's the fun things in life.
Yep.
Like, is the journey of going and falling in love with that process. Like, that's where it's at. It's not getting to the end. Like, for me, like, here's an analogy I like to use a lot, is one of my peaks right now is buying a Lamborghini. It's something I've always wanted, and I'm working right now to be able to get one. And the person I am becoming to become the person who can afford to drive a Lamborghini is a million times fucking better than that car will ever be.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that. And that's where a lot of people don't make that connection. And who knows, you may get to the point of where you go buy that cash and you're like, that's not important to me anymore. I'm on to something else, right?
Yeah.
And that's the importance of, like, what you were saying is, again, if you don't make it, there's other things that come along the way that you're not aware of unless you're taking that journey. And that's the part that I'm trying to help people understand, is you got to go take that journey to find out wherever that peak is going to be for you.
Yeah, and here's another thing. You can say, oh, what if I don't make it? Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't try, then the answer is you will 100% not fucking make it. We already know the answer if you're not willing to try.
And this is the best it's ever going to be, is how it is right now. Because you're getting older, things are going to get more competitive, things are going to cost more money. Dude, the best it is right now.
I love that. That's such a good point. What's that saying? It's like the best time to plant a tree was 50 years ago. The second best time is right the fuck now. Go get after it. I love it. Right now is the best time it's ever going to be. The world isn't going to get any easier. Something's not going to fall in. Just go get fucking going.
Go do it.
I love that.
Yeah, fail forward.
Yes.
Right.
So Ryan, something I wanted to ask you about is I've always really admired, you know how to move a deal. You know how to make the connections, find the right buyer for a deal. I saw a really interesting video about a deal you had. I can't remember if you'd blasted it out, but weren't getting any action. And then you just started getting into the trenches, looking at what had sold around and, started making connections. Can you kind of walk me through your process of how you take a deal from, all right, we just got this locked up, how are we gonna get this sold?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, everything's a little different, but for the main part, we have some resources that we use. Some people have it, some people don't, but you can still do the same thing. So I'll walk down both places, because we have Investor Lift, right? Cartel mode, which is the highest version of it, which just allows us to reach a lot of people.
It's kind of I say it's like steroids for dispo.
Yes, I like that. That's a good one. I'll go with that one, especially because we work out right there. So yeah, so it's steroids for dispo. Now, back before the market shifted, again, I'm sure you were right in there. I could list it on Investor Lift, send out an email and a text blast, and there is a buy now button, which meaning it's more expensive than the actual purchase price, but you bypass all the competitiveness. It's just boom, that means you get it. Reason I'm saying this is back before the bump, or the burst, whatever you want to call it, people were buying properties without me having to call or reach out to them. They were hitting the buy now button, bypassing the line so they didn't get in the bidding war, and they were paying over our ask.
Oh, I remember those times. It was nice.
That was fun. All right, so that stopped.
Yes.
And for a minute.
It was like overnight, too.
Yes, it was overnight. It was absolutely overnight. And I think, man, for a good 4 to 6 weeks, I was like, what is happening? Couldn't quite get our minds wrapped around it. Help. Everyone's reaching out. So anyways, what's changed is, one, we are comping a lot more conservatively, which we can get into that in another subject, but we're more conservative on our comping, one. I do text blast and email blast, but that's just where it gets started. Now I'm calling all those people I just text blast and email blast to make sure they got my email. Right. And I try to when I get in touch with them, I try to set a little bit of urgency as far as I'm going to be blasting it out to more people tomorrow. Before I do that, this is your best shot to get it before you're competing with 1,000 other people. Right. I say that a little bit more constructively, but that's what I'm relaying.
No, you're building urgency to the buyer. Hey, I got this smoking deal. Let's make a move.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%. Now, if you don't have Investor Lift, I still do this locally, because I do have like contacts in my phone or people who I normally talk to, like you, right? People I talk to on a normal basis. I have those in my phone, and so I'll use another texting platform. It's just SMS, Text Magic, sorry. Generic text message. It says new deal alert on South Pueblo Lane, asking $250. Text back immediately if interested. So sometimes I get some people to actually raise their hand off of that, but even if not, that's my excuse to call them.
Yes.
Right. So I'm doing all this in the morning between 9 and 11. Now I'm reaching out between 2 and 4 or 2 and 5. Okay. Did you get my text? Did you get that? Would you like it?
So that's interesting. So your days are structured. Like, it sounds like you have a very structured day.
Dude, have to be, because we're really lean right now. We're looking to add people and to find talent. So we'll talk about that later.
Well, so who are you looking for?
So I want to teach someone hands-on dispo, exactly my process right now. So I'll work with them, teach them how to run it, and then they can help with that, because there's other things that, like we're talking about projects, that Max and I are working on to build out projects. And those projects are moving a little bit slower than we like, because I'm still in the trenches, as you mentioned, dispoing. I'm dispoing deals.
So you know what's really interesting? I believe that there is no better way to seriously learn real estate than working as a dispositions manager for a wholesaler. So if you are interested in learning really the ins and out of a real estate deal, and you want to get exposure to high level people who are purchasing properties in cash, build your network of cash buyers, and really learn how a deal works, this sounds like an amazing opportunity. And if somebody was interested in that position, what would be the best way for them to reach you?
Yes, me directly on IG at Real Ryan Overcash. Just DM me. I will reach out. That's one of the best things about me is I do respond and reach out. So if this is you, if this speaks to you, if it somewhat interests you, let me know, reach out, let's talk.
You know what's interesting is I always had the biggest problem with hiring until I started to build a social media following. And now it's the easiest thing in the world for me.
Because they come to you.
Pretty much every single person in my office, besides two. One, she's been with us forever, and then the other was came from like one of our other team members. His girlfriend knew it. It was like a mutual connection. But all the rest all came from TikTok and Instagram, from like seeing my videos and being like, "Hey, that seems really cool. I'd really like to learn that."
Dude, that is an amazing. I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of my challenges. And behind the scenes, I was talking to Temp right before we started about how he does that, how he finds the talent. Because we're talking about here the content house where we're doing this at, and how that all came to be. And same thing he was basically saying, just echoed what you just basically said. So I got to start leveraging my Instagram a little bit more.
Well,
social
100%.
media.
Because I mean, people that are on there and they see you like. They're obviously following and they're looking at you because they enjoy you. So obviously, like if the opportunity presents itself, they're gonna be jump all over that. And those are gonna be some of your best people that you want to have on your team. Yeah. People who are motivated to be there because they already connect with you. They already like what you stand for and all these different things.
Yeah, I already kind of have a sense of who you are, and again, like you're just saying, what your expectations are. So it probably starts a little bit quicker.
Absolutely.
With a good relationship.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you bringing that up, man. I'm learning a lot today with you being here. This is
well, hey, I mean, it was seriously game changing for me because I was doing this stuff before. I'm posting on like Indeed and LinkedIn and those. Listen to this. Well, I'll tell you what. I actually want to give you a different story.
You just brought back story, but yeah, keep going. You're good.
I want to give you a different story because it's not all magical people that are coming on. So I mean, obviously, like my personality on social media and TikTok Live, like I naturally attract like a lot of like frat boys and that kind of thing. Okay. And I had this kid who was super excited, and he was super like intense on following up. And so I immediately I liked that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good sales guy. Yeah. Like if he's already following up with me like this, I get on a call with him, and he is wearing head to toe full send merch, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with what that is.
No, that's why I had the face. I'm old. What is that?
So it's like it's this group of guys that like vlog. I don't even know how to explain full send. It's like Steve will do it. I don't know if you know who that is. Basically, it's like this drinking like frat boy party culture kind of stuff. And the kid's wearing full head to toe full send merch. And during the entire interview, he's sitting there fucking vaping. And I'm like, and this is at a time like when I vaped and stuff, I was like, I don't give a shit. But I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I know that, like I'm obviously very casual and stuff like that, but dude.
You can't be vaping and killing it in life, bro. That doesn't happen.
Although I would tell you, if I like got on a call with somebody and they were like doing something, like they were like smoking a cigar or something, I think that could be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be dope. That
might give you some points.
Yeah.
Well, they were actually talking here at the studio. There's this little outside area right here. You guys get that? We can have some cigars on the podcast. Ooh, that would go hard.
That'd be dope. Nice little round table discussion
there. So, Ryan, one of the real big reasons why I wanted to have you come on, something I'm super big on, and it's something I was talking to Devin earlier, is I think that as a business owner, you have to master your health first. And here's why. I believe that mastering your health and your fitness is kind of the foundation for your discipline. Because once you can control what kind of foods you're putting in your body and you can control your own body to get up and go to the gym and work out, then after that, because those things are 100% in your control. There's nobody else who can force you to eat shitty food or force you to go to the gym. It's all 100% on you. Now, once you introduce building a business, there are a lot of other things you're going to have to force yourself to do. But here in this realm, there are people who can fuck your shit up, outside forces who can mess it up. Yeah. So it's a whole other challenge. So you obviously are, if you guys, so we're both wearing hoodies right now, but when you go follow him on Instagram, @RealRyanOvercash, you're going to see super fit guy. And how old are you?
42, brother.
42 years old, looking fucking jacked, looking like he's in his 20s.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So kind of walk me through, how you got introduced into fitness and how that's kind of benefited your life.
Yeah, 100%. So I agree with you. It's building that discipline. You can take from that and take it into your business life, right? Once you accomplish that discipline, you're forcing yourself to eat a certain way, forcing yourself to go to the gym. Not really forcing, but you're making yourself, right?
At first, when you're building the habit, you're forcing.
Yeah.
But now, eventually, once it's there, now it's part of our life.
Part of your life, right? It's just
well,
your
like you said, if you don't work out, like for me, if I don't work out on the day that I'm supposed to, I'm gonna think about that. It's gonna fester and eat at me, you know.
Yes, I'm less confident when I don't work out.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. I mean, see, I know you get it, but some people on the side don't understand that. And another thing people don't understand a little bit too, and I know we got into it because we do. I like the big. I know you like being big. I'm muscular as well. But I'm so glad that there's other benefits from it that I wasn't even aware of, because I got into it.
It's climbing the mountain, and that's the peak.
Yes.
You want to be big and strong, but then all of a sudden you realize there's all these other things.
Yes, there you go again. See, going right back to that analogy. I love that, Tyson. I love how you bring that up. So, anyways, to answer your question, how this happened to me, it's kind of funny. I've always been an athlete, always been pretty good in sports. Kind of always played at the older crowd, all-stars, all conference, all that stuff.
Okay.
Right. So when I was a freshman in high school, I was with the seniors in weight. It was first hour high school weight class.
Okay.
But I played sports with all these guys. So like I was on the traveling teams with them. So now it's the first time we ever been in the gym together, and they're doing 225 repping. I can barely get one plate. I'm a freshman. I weigh like 155 pounds. One plate on each side is 135. I think I repped it twice. And I was so embarrassed because these guys have I've never been in the gym with these guys. We grew up playing ball. I could hang with them in the court, on the field, wherever you want to talk about. But now we're in the gym. We're starting to grow, right? People are going through growth spurts and puberty and all that stuff. And I was made fun of a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those guys that go, okay. Like, it doesn't break me. That challenges
motivates
me. That motivates me. And man, I can't tell you, I swear to you on everything, it was after the last day of school. We have 3 months off where I was at back in the day. I rode my bike to a gym. It was Heavy Metal Gym, Kingman, Arizona.
All right.
Downtown. I remember all this. I couldn't even afford the gym. I would sneak in because the owner was blind. People who know this owner know who I'm talking about. He was blind, but he caught me after a few days. He made me call my mom. Like, he was really nice about it. His wife actually came up, said, "Hey, we'd like to, can we call your mom?" And this and that. And I kind of didn't know, but I did know. And they're like, "Hey, he's sneaking in. We'd like to help you." Put me on a payment plan because, didn't have the money. But anyways, I was so focused on going to the gym. I was going to do anything I could to get my butt in that gym. Because come first day next school season, like I had a score to settle.
Yeah.
Right? I went every day, everyone to understand this. Every day, I did not miss one day. I rode my bike, got a ride, figured it out. Almost got a little emotional right there just because I went back to that moment. And the first day of school, the very first day of sophomore year, anytime you do a weight class, I don't know if you did the same thing, but you always do your maxes.
Yeah.
Right? Very beginning to see, okay, what are you maxing at now? And then at the end of the year, right?
Okay.
All these people I remember, I still to this day remember their names. I won't even say their names on here. But they were benching 245 the year before at the end of the year. I ended up benching 175 at the end of the year. I remember. One plate, 210s each side, right? Remember. First day back in, I benched 250.
Jesus.
First
Wait,
day,
is this sophomore?
Sophomore year, 250 built. I put on 10 pounds. Everyone else that was doing the 245, they still could bench like 200. I remember they still were kind of strong, but they were all looking at me like, what happened? It was over after that, Tyson.
Oh, I bet.
I was addicted.
Yeah.
Everyone looked at me different. Daniel's our media guy. He's on the team. I don't know. I'd say my media guy. He's a business owner. He always says that, man. What I realize is when you start working out, people look at you in a different way. I remember that's what it was. And I never wanted to go back to being normal.
You know what it is? Have you ever heard David Goggins talking about taking people's souls?
Yes.
You took their fucking souls, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. I get off on that.
That's fucking crazy, though. Okay, but so if you guys don't go to the gym, which also if you're listening to this and you don't go to the gym, fucking go to the gym. What's wrong with you?
Work out.
But yeah.
Challenge yourself.
What the fuck? Anyway, it's just that should be normal. But if you don't, like 245 is fucking. So when I started lifting, I was a sophomore. I was 14 years old, and I couldn't even do 135. I couldn't hit 225 until I was 20. Gotcha. I was in college, and like I was working out, So that is amazing that you, with all that dedication. Oh, that's the second point. For everybody who says, "Oh, I can't," they have an excuse of why they can't work out. I don't have time. I don't have the money, bro. All of those, any excuse is just you saying you don't want it that bad. Ryan said, "Fuck all of that, dude. I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna sneak into the gym."
Yeah. I don't recommend that part, guys. Don't break the law. I got away with it. It's all good. It was back in the day, and it worked out. But that's my journey. That's how I started. I'm just one of those guys. I am competitive with everything I do. Again, I thank God for making me that way.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that just don't have it, and I don't know how to speak to those people. But
Me neither.
I'm very competitive. I got to be better every day. I got to be better, or something's wrong.
Well, I feel like the people who are listening to this, they're all going to relate to that, and I think that's an amazing story. I think that it really shows that's another thing I love about working out is it brings out the competition in people, and it's you versus you for the most part. I mean, eventually, at first, it was you versus those motherfuckers, and you had them to motivate you and to push you to get in every single day, get stronger, get your bench up. But then eventually it just turns into how can I lift more than I did last chest day?
Yep.
Or, what can I do to make myself look better than I did yesterday?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you'll never go to the gym and afterwards regret doing that. You never say,
100%.
Wish I didn't work out.
I love that you say that. I swear on everything, Tyson. I've said that to people. Even recently, there's never been a time where I went and said, oh, man, why did I do that?
Yeah, that sucked.
Why did I do that? Right? Never.
Hey, do you rather suffer now or suffer later?
There you go.
Right?
Bring it right back, full circle, 100%.
Because here's the thing, dude. I mean, so at that event, Wholesale Sharks, I talked a little bit about I had to make the very hard decision to look inside myself and realize where was I fucking up. Now, doing that is very hard. It's very hard to get introspective and have to call yourself out and have to look in the mirror and be like, you're being a fucking bitch. Like, why the fuck are you doing that? Why can't you change that? And that's a hard thing to do. But you know what's a lot harder? Is just keep repeating those same mistakes over and over again and just keep suffering.
Yep, 100%. There's another memory just having in my head, just to kind of speak to this, because again, it just if anybody else is in the similar situation, to recognize it. Weekends used to be I was before I got in real estate in hardcore sales gig, did well, but you bust your butt Monday through Friday. Weekends you do nothing.
Yeah.
Because my thought process was I earned it. I thought that's how I used to think, right?
Exactly.
You change thinking, like Monday through Friday, I worked my time, I made my money, I get this time. But anyways, that's just the old thought process. I don't think like that anymore. But what happened was one day I was watching TV in my bedroom. That's what I do every weekend, just veg out and watch TV, do other stupid things. And I go, man, I just almost had a panic attack. So I'm like, how long have I been doing this? How many weeks in a row have I repeated this? And how is this helping me? How is this me getting closer to anything else? My mind started going to whatever I'm watching. They're making money off of me. I'm not making any money right now. Plus, I was self-developing at the same time, so this was a big shift. But I almost had a panic attack, and that's what I was like, no more, man, no more. So I started being intentional with my weekends, and I used to have to. I still have some stuff planned out. Now I just have so much stuff going on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I used to plan out my weekend, like book it on the calendar, and I'd stick to that calendar, stick to it over the weekend, and every Monday when we'd go back to the office, whatever it was, I felt so much better.
Oh, yeah.
That
because you don't turn it off.
Yes, I didn't.
It's simple. It's inertia. It's objects in motion tend to stay in motion.
There you go.
And as soon as you stop, you're halting all the progress.
Yep.
I had this conversation with Temp. Is that I felt the exact same way. I'm busting my ass all week, and then all of a sudden, by the fucking weekend, I felt like a lion. I was like, I need to fucking let go. And what it was is I instead of just like vegging out doing that stuff, I had other bad habits. I would go out and fucking party, and I'd get super fucked up. Right?
I did that too back. That was a little bit. That was the cycle before that.
But it's all
Same
it is
thing,
is it's hey, you're living for the weekend. Like you work so hard and then you just turn it off. And then you stop and then you have to fucking work your way back up again. Whereas it's so much easier when you just keep going. And as business owners, I feel like a lot like I shouldn't say just business owners, but I feel like it's a lot easier for business owners is we start to realize that the weekends and all of that is just fucking made up.
It's man-made, man.
I saw a video. Do you know Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
So Andrew Tate was talking about it. He said, I fucking hate the weekends, dude. The weekends are fucking brokies. Because that's when they're all out and doing shit. When it's like, bro, why does it matter what fucking day of the week it is?
Yes.
Somebody swiped up, and because I made some post about my diet, and somebody swiped up, and they're like, well, what do you do on the weekends? And I sent him a voice message. I was like, what the fuck do you mean the weekends, motherfucker? It's just another day. I do the same thing I always do, bro. Do you fucking just cheat on your girlfriend on the weekends? Do you cheat on your wife on the weekends? No, I don't cheat on my fucking diet on the weekend, bro.
Yeah, see, that's the energy I'm talking about, folks, right there. That gets me going, man. I get too much of that, man. We'll be going all night long. But I love that, bro. I love the fact that you just jumped in on that, right, to let people know, no, nothing changes.
No.
Nothing changes, right? It's just another day. Man, the fact that you said that people live for the weekend, That's so depressing to me.
It is.
Doesn't that hurt now that you're on this side of it and you're like, man, I just want to help everyone that has that thought of like, you could be in such a different you don't even have to be doing real estate. You got to find what you're passionate about and apply it and figure out where you can go do that and go be you somewhere and not be that person where you really are living for 2 days out of the week.
Fuck that, dude.
Oh, dude.
That's the whole point. That's why I called this the rebellion. It's rebelling against that shit, about that
norm.
life. Because
all lies,
who wants to do that, dude?
All lies.
Yes.
Right? Like the one I kind of brought up earlier, but you were alluding to it as well. 40-hour work week.
Yep.
What? You know what I mean? I heard this on one of our shows. Leo, I can never pronounce his last name right. It starts with a B. Leo said this, and I love it. And I'm going to try to get this right. If you want to make 6 figures, say goodbye to your weekends. If you want to make 7 figures, right, be in the millions, say goodbye of Monday. Say goodbye of Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we get that. I understand what that means. Right? And then one more thing, just to kind of go with this, because a lot of people say, well, you got to rest, because I hear a lot about that from me because I get up so early. I do rest. You got to build the rest in there.
Absolutely.
And it's all about being disciplined that allows you to get the adequate amount of rest that allows me to wake up and do what I got to do in the morning. I don't go to bed at midnight and wake up at 3 every day.
Yes.
That's not what I'm doing.
Well, also, I think people get this like misconception that I wake up at 6 a.m. and then it's just work until I go to bed at like 9:30, 10. That's not what it is. It's just, you don't realize is that while I'm at the gym, I'm also working. I'm doing stuff like that. But then also, it's not like when I'm at the office, I'm just fucking ahead of the grindstone the entire time. I'm also taking that time to have conversations and do stuff I enjoy. But the reason I'm able to do that is because I built my whole life around this. The people that are in my office, I fucking enjoy hanging out with. They are there because of that. Like, not only are they like amazing people, are they dedicated, are they driven, are they great team members, but they also are people I enjoy hanging around. So when I'm at the office, it's not like work to me. It's like I'm going to the fucking... Some people like to go to the club to hang out with their friends. I go to the office to hang out with mine.
That's awesome, bro.
We've built a life around it.
Yeah,
and now this doesn't happen overnight. It's not like one day you're going to decide, okay, hey, look, I'm ready to change my life, and you're going to have your office with your team. You have to work for these things.
Yep.
But
very good point, dude.
Well, and once you get past that, it's like, now, yes, I do have days. Like, for instance, like Sunday is my day that I just hang out with my girl, and that's what we're doing. Like, and I don't fucking work or I don't do anything. Like, no, like that's my day and I have that.
You earned it.
But it's not like it's because it's the weekend or because it's Sunday. It's because that's just how our schedules work out, where on that day we both can take that time and do these things.
100%, dude.
But you know what? It's something I want to come back to is that the most important thing before you're able to get all of this is you need to have clarity on what it is you want in your life.
Wow.
If you're seeking stability and you like to just kind of like have a task that is your job and you do it for a certain amount of time, whatever, and you just enjoy going to the movies and the ball game on the weekend or whatever it is, bro, no power to you. Or more power to you. That's fine. Yeah. If that's what you enjoy, get after that. Do that.
No issue with that. We ain't talking crap about you.
No. Yeah. Look, that's what here's the thing though. That's not for fucking me. I detest that, but I believe in everybody's ability to do what they want, and if that's what you want, go after it. I'm not going to tell you, right? But also, I mean, I said this to Temp too. Bees don't spend any time convincing flies that honey is better than shit. 100%. And once you do find something that you are passionate about and that you can strive for, then all of a sudden you realize that working and shit, that it's not work anymore. Like, that is just, you start to get into this state where you're not fucking watching the clock. You're just focused on building and getting to that next level.
100%.
And that, once you get there, that's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy. And go back kind of to what you said, like people who, just want to go do their own thing. Like you're saying, more power to them. Those people, though, that complain, that's when I'm a little like, okay, I don't like that part. Right?
Absolutely.
Like,
cut the fucking shit and change it.
Exactly. So I wanted just to get back to that point. So anyways, I forgot what we were just saying there.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about, look, everybody has their own decisions of the way they want to live life. But I love that you brought up, just don't choose to complain about the life you've selected.
Exactly.
Because your life is exactly, look, you right now, everybody who's listening, us sitting here right now, we are a collection of every single decision we've made. And every single decision we've ever made in our entire life has led us to this exact moment.
Our daily behaviors have put us right where we are right now.
That's what you are. You're a collection of your daily behaviors, which are your daily habits. And so, you know what? I've been listening to this book, and I can relate it to this right now. It's As a Man Thinketh.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Well, it's fucking insane,
It's
Ryan.
good.
You have to listen to it, or you have to read it. It's fucking crazy. It's like 45 minutes long, and every single sentence, it's so poetic, and normally, like, I don't fucking like that shit. I just want to be able to clearly understand it, but everything is, like, so beautifully written, and it was written in 1902, but one part of it is it talks, and they say that your thoughts are going to crystallize into a habit. So if you're constantly thinking like, oh, like, I deserve more money for this job, like my boss didn't pay me enough, you're constantly thinking that, it's going to crystallize in this habit of you like dejecting your work, not being a good employee, and then that's going to cause you to be unhappy. My thoughts are constantly on like, I'm expecting the best to happen to me at all times. Like I believe that the life is conspiring in my favor. Everything happens for a reason, and it's to get me forward to where I want to go.
And that's taking time though to get there, right?
Oh yeah, it's not like that happened overnight, but it's just been conscious about being positive about my thoughts,
being aware,
about thinking that look, I don't waste a good crisis. If something bad happens to me, I'm going to use that to motivate me. I'm going to, if people are making fun of me because I can't lift as much weight as them, I'm going to use that to go forward. Which also, that kind of reminds me of a story of the reason why I got in the gym is when I was in high school, I had fucking titties. Like I had like bitch tits.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't like that.
You've always been a monster to me, bro.
No. I wish I could show you some pictures, bro. I was a little pudgy fat kid.
Okay.
Like not like super fat, but dude, I was doughy, you know? And people made fun of me. And I didn't like that. Now, here's why I think that a little bit of bullying is a good thing, because that motivated me to change. I was like, well, I don't want that anymore. How do I get rid of this? And my parents were like, well, you should probably fucking work out. Okay, yeah. And I started working out, and that built a habit.
You fell in love with it.
Absolutely I did. Because guess what? I realized that I'm the master of my own destiny. And if I don't like something about my life, I have the full ability to go change it.
Yep. You changed it. Proof of concept, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I said that term right.
No, but exactly.
You see it, and then you want more of it.
And this is possible in all realms of your life. You don't like how much money you make? Go figure out ways to go make more money. We got the internet, motherfucker. There's a million different ways you can find out how to do it.
These days, I can't believe how many options there are to make money.
Absolutely.
All these meetups we go to, or these seminars we go to, I'm like, wait, you can make money doing that? Are you kidding me? Like, there's all these different ways that you can become pretty wealthy.
Well, I seriously believe that like between $100,000 and $200,000 a year is super achievable to literally everybody using only free available on the internet. Like making between 100 and 200 grand. So between like that 10 to 20K a month, which I believe at that point you are chilling. Like you are able to live a really good life, 10 to 20K a month.
Yep.
And that will take care of pretty much everybody's needs. Everything after that, you're just chasing luxury shit.
Yep.
Right? You want to go on the vacations, drive the cars, do that shit. And still, even in that, you can still do a lot of it.
Oh, 100%.
But, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I think that anybody can get to that level strictly based on free information on YouTube.
100%.
Right now, I could learn how to wholesale. I could learn how to start a marketing agency. I could learn how to start a VA agency. I could start learning how to copyright. I could start learning, like, just right there, I'm just thinking, I just saw 4 things that you could absolutely go on YouTube, learn for free right now, create an agency, and go make 100, 200 grand a year.
Podcasting, social media, all that. That's like huge in our industry right
and then
now.
that just is fucking exponential.
Yes.
Because once you build a brand, that's my whole thing. My goal right now is I'm so willing to trade money for influence. My whole thing is let's build my brand up.
Yep.
Because once you have a personal brand, it makes everything else so much easier.
Yeah. Call your shots after that.
Well, there's people like Brad Lee was talking. He built this company. I'm not sure which company it is. I believe it was his Lightspeed video training thing. Okay. But he built that, and that makes a lot of money. It's like a 7-8 figure company. But since he has built this personal following through his Dropping Bombs podcast, and he has the Instagram clout, and he has the TikTok following, all this, he's been able to make all these other businesses super easily because he has this built-in customer base.
Right.
Once you have that, you can go do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. If I decide I want to go start a clothing company, I can do it. I decide I want to start a supplement company, I can go do it. There's so many different avenues. It becomes easier once you establish yourself on the internet.
Yes. And that, again, we're going to kind of bring this back again to the part of taking that journey.
Yes.
And you don't know what you're going to run into. You don't know what's going to grasp your attention. You may be doing, like you're saying, the wholesale real estate, and then figure out there's a whole nother, vertical, so to speak. Again, another key word there that you like better, that speaks to you, that you just take off in, and you become the expert.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what, like, for instance, with wholesaling, dude, wholesaling is a beautiful thing. You can make a fuck ton of money super fast. Like, it's great. It's hard work.
It is.
It's not easy. It's simple, but you can go out there and do that. But I've realized wholesaling is just something, it's kind of a means to the end for me. It's something that makes money, but it allows me to do stuff like this. This is what I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I like being able to talk to people like you who give me great
yeah.
energy, and we can talk and we can help other people. Like, that's what brings me a lot of joy, is being able to, like, the DMs I get of people like, bro, I listen to your podcast and you made me realize, like, I do need to stop being a bitch. Like, why am I not going to the gym? Why am I still working this thing when I'm interested in this and I can start pursuing that? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, go get it.
Yeah. No, I love that, bro. I love that you say that too. And again, trying not to lose my thoughts here. Dang it, I am good about to lose it because I wanted to say something on there. But yeah, just getting back to the wholesaling part of it opening. Came back to me now of opening avenues. I tell this to Max quite a bit, and I used to feel guilty about it, but I don't now because I'm aware of it. And what I'm trying to say is, I enjoy this, like you're saying, more than real estate. I enjoy the mentoring that I do on the side, and the people I help. That's not even paying me money. Just people are, like you're saying, that they reach out to me on IG or social media, whatever it is, that have legitimate concern. I reach out, we talk, we make a quick connection, and I help them. I enjoy that way more than I enjoy doing real estate.
Yeah.
And I used to feel guilty about saying that out loud, but now I don't. I'm like, no, real estate is the means, like you're saying, that allows me to do things that I want to do. Even as simple as just being able to, I just did a post on this recently, a story, taking my daughter to school. I take her 3 days a week, Monday through Wednesday. I get to take her. I take her at my convenience. Whereas when I was working a W-2 job, it was like, I have to take you to school. Hurry up, get in the car. Like, we're hauling butt there. It's not a good experience. Get out, go. I got to get going. Now it's like, hey, we're talking on the way. We stop. I'll get our coffee on the way. It's just a lot different. Those things, walking my dog in the morning with, again, knowing that I can walk as long as I want.
Right.
I don't. But point being is, real estate allows me to do that. And that has nothing to do with money
It's
at all.
completely changed the two experiences that are the experience, which is essentially congruent in each situation, but it's completely changed because of all these other factors in your life that aren't these other fucking energy forces that are pulling you different ways.
Energy suckers, right? Energy vampires is, I think, what's the name John says.
Yes.
I think his last name right now.
Well, the way Temp put it, which if you guys haven't, Templeton Walker has an amazing podcast called Heart Melter. Go check out episode 10 with me. But he put it, he's like, dude, I already have these birds in the oven. They're cooking. They're making money. I'm not going to fucking pull them out. And it's like, yeah, the wholesaling thing, I'm still going to, keep doing that. But it has been a means that's opened up so much more to me because now it has given me the freedom to go chase these other things and look. But here's the big caveat is you can't start chasing all these other things while you're starting to build the wholesale. Yeah. You need to make that make money. Make money. And then you can, you find out along the way you're interested in creative finance. Then you can go use their wholesaling funds to go fund your creative finance deals, or you can go fix and flip or own Airbnbs or whatever it is you find you're interested in later. But
yeah, no, I've been part of a business that chased all the shiny objects. We can do this, and we didn't master any of them, and it all imploded. But it all happened for a reason. That's why I'm at where I'm at now. But dude, that can definitely happen. You got to master, just like Tyson said, master what you're doing, become an expert, make sure that it's making money. Does your bank account prove that business is successful? And if it does, then move on to the next one.
So I want to ask you, because I'm super jealous. You got to talk to me about these tattoos. I've said I just have two tattoos, and I love sleeves and shit. Like I want to be just like neck down. Done.
Yeah, you're like me.
Yeah, I think it looks so cool. Can you kind of talk to me about some of them? Why you got them? Where you got them?
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I don't really talk about them a lot, so that's funny you bring that up. Going back to a child, young child, my dad, my uncles, they were, anyway, small town, Kingman, Arizona. We were like the only Mexicans in the whole town. This is going back to the 80s. And so they were like the guys I looked up to. Like they were like the, my gangster uncles, so to speak. They weren't gangbangers by any means, but they were just
I see what you're saying.
Right? Yeah. They had the tattoos. They drove the Harleys, and they had the beards. My dad had none of that. My dad had 0 tattoos, didn't do any Harleys. I think he had a beard every so often, off and on. But my dad was the youngest, so I was always like looking up to my older uncle. So I just had an affinity and attraction for ink, like at a young age. So I always knew I was gonna get something. And my first tattoo, I was 14 years old. And I got my first tattoo. Yeah, from a guy who just got out of prison. No joke. The needle was like made from guitar string and a remote control.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got it done in the backyard of someone's house. So anyways, yeah, that's just the beginning of my journey. But to kind of just fast forward, I've always liked ink. Anytime I've had an opportunity to get something, I get something, and it always means something to me with my journey, whatever's going on. But we'll talk about my hands. I guess that's because that sticks out quite a bit. Over here is a lotus blossom. The reason I got that one, I'm gonna let people in here on a little insight, not to get too deep, but part of my journey was getting myself in trouble. It was a learning lesson. It changed my life. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. You don't know that when you're going through it. You're like, dude, why did I get in trouble? Why did I get arrested? So anyways, got arrested, had to do a little bit of time, had to deal with felonies. And the lotus blossom, I was listening to a song one day, and it was From Out the Mud. And a lotus blossom can grow. It's resilient. That was the word that stuck out to me. It's resilient. It can grow in mud. It can grow without sunlight. And I was in a really dark spot of my life at that moment because I haven't served my time yet. I was on my way to doing it. I was really low because, again, I lost everything. Lost my, lost family, so to speak, for a little bit. Freedom, career, everything was wiped away. This is before I got into real estate. That's actually what kind of helped me get into real estate. So that's where the lotus blossom came. Again, there's a whole 5 other episodes I could talk about, right, with getting in trouble and what that did. On this side over here, this is more of my Aztec heritage. For a lack of a better term, the symbol here on my hand is like the Aztec version of the yin and yang, just to be kind of the basic version. But what it really helps remind me, and I've learned this after, getting in trouble and on my self-development journey, is never get too high, never get too low.
Absolutely.
So it is a constant reminder because I'm naturally an emotional person. Like I want to all the time.
Yeah.
And I can cry at the drop of a dime. Watching a cartoon. I mean, I'm emotional, so I always got to keep that in check. And these are my reminders. So,
I love it, dude.
Yeah, that's my story behind my hands there.
So I kind of mentioned earlier, never waste a good crisis. Like that you've already embodied right there. You had something that but a lot of people are they're done. Like, if something happens, they get in trouble, they need to go away, then they're just going to take that and they'll realize that's who I am, and they'll go down that path. But you, like Lotus Blossom, I'm going to fucking grow in the mud.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, man. Like,
how do you think you're able to do that? Like, how are you able to change gears and realize that, look, I'm not going to let this define who I am. I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to grow from this.
This may sound weird, may sound crazy because I am trying to think of that, right? Why? I think it comes back to just my childhood of like, I grew up poor.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had something to prove. And the trouble would have proved everyone else right.
I love it.
Yeah, of course. That's where he would have ended up. Just like his family, right? In jail, locked up, going to be the everyday guy. I was like, oh hell no, I am not right. Sometimes the noise can crush people, right? Sometimes not with me. I am that guy that says bring it because I need to feel that. I'm not letting it happen. So that was a big piece of it right there. And it kind of with it, before I went in, my oldest daughter was 14, I think at the time. She's 21 now. I was honest with her. I just said, hey, watch this. I looked her in the eye and I said, this is what I did. This is what's happening. I'm telling you because we're at the bottom right now and you're going to watch me climb to the top. And so I told her that, like, I think, definitely before I went in, but like right after whatever went down happened, right? I told her that, right? We talked about it. And so that was an accountability of, I have something to prove to my daughter of I really did think of this. This is crazy at the time. What a gift this is going to be. And that's how I looked at it, bro. I looked at it because I was already in it. We aren't getting out of it. There ain't you're in trouble, bro. You're arrested.
Yeah.
Your freedom is gone. When you go to bed, when you wake up, when you eat, when you talk, everything is gone, bro. And so there was no choice. And again, like you're saying, you could fold. How painful is that? To me, that's painful. That's the most painful.
That's suffering now. It's suffering for eternity.
There you go. See, again, the theme of this talk right here, right? Like, no, I'm not going to, no, that was way more painful. I'm going to win. I'm going to fight, and I have people to fight for, not just myself, but for my daughters and my wife.
Well, holy fucking shit, man. Give me some right here. Dude, if you are, never fucking doubt this man, Ryan Overcash, because if you do, bro, it sounds like it, man.
Yeah, you'll get me to the next level.
Exactly.
Please doubt me. I like the hate. Bring the hate.
Dude, that's another thing I love, bro. I mean, especially with social media, we get a lot of fucking, you get people talking shit. Now, the vast majority of people I get is all love, right?
Yeah,
things like that. But I still also get these clowns who come in and they talk shit and all this, whatever. Now, here's the thing is I've kind of grown to love it. If I get, because it's just at a point where, like, it washes over me, you know? But also, if I have time, like if I'm sitting there, I'm taking a shit and I'm on Instagram and I see, like, I've got some comments, bro, I'll sit there and I'll
play with it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I think
smiling on the other end while they're getting all riled up.
Oh, dude, that's what I'm just going to try to do. I'm going to poke the bear. I'm going to be like, bro, you're some dude, like, you saw my video and for some reason it pissed you off. And it's probably because I'm an asshole and I'm telling you, hey, you need to start doing better, because that's what my page is all about. I'm trying to, you know, I want to bring out the best in people. And if you're in a place where, you know, you're not really ready to have that come out of you, I can see how you would naturally be adversely affected by what I'm putting out there. But do you ever have any problems with that about people, you know, fucking...
Yeah, just keyboard? Like you said, I'm honestly surprised I don't get more. Yeah. I expected more just because of everything I hear.
Yeah.
And like I said, I told you before we jumped on here, I'm starting to get better at being a little bit more comfortable and being because I'm, you know, a little conservative in what I say. So yeah. Daniel had me do, you probably saw one of them was again the ripped in my 40s one.
Yeah.
Right? Like that wasn't comfortable for me to do as much as that crazy that is. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to get so much hate on this. Daniel's like, no, we got to do it. You got to get some people talking. I got so much love on that.
I bet.
I was surprised. I was really pleasantly surprised. I did have the hater. This is where the story's coming. And he was like, you're not ripped. That's what he said. And he's like, my dad, he really said that. I showed Daniel and Max's. My dad's in his 50s. He's way more ripped than you. And he just kept coming, like telling me what my body fat was. You're probably like at 8 or 9% body fat. Ripped is 3.
Oh my God!
Okay. It just kept coming. I was laughing, and you know, I raised some of the stuff I was saying to him, but I did say, you know, I pointed out things like, "Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. What else? You know, what else?" And then eventually I said, "Hey, do you know what's really funny?" I felt like this is me poking him a little bit. You're the only negative comment out of all the comments. What do you think that says about you? And that was the last thing that I said. I left it at that. What do you think that says about you?
That's the thing, dude. These people, you know, I don't know what they're going through or what it is, but it's just a reflection of themselves. Yeah. It's some inward thing, like where, you know, they got to take it out on somebody else, and that might make them feel better. Yeah. And it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm a bad motherfucker. I don't really care what you have to say.
100%. You know what my hope is, though? Because this is what I believe. I try to believe the best in people. You poked them, right? They got pissed off. Even though they're pissed off and they said what they said to you, it's going to marinate on their mind. And maybe down the road, what you did say and how you did poke them is actually going to be the reason they go and do something.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that, man. That's why I love that you do that stuff. That's why I need to do more of it.
Well, dude, I mean, that's one thing that we were having a conversation before is it is not easy to put yourself out there and make these videos. Like, dude, I post 3 videos every single day on my fucking page. No matter what day it is, there's 3 fucking videos coming out. And that is 3 opportunities for me to embarrass myself, to do all the... Now, it's also 3 opportunities... Now, here's what I want to get into, is how do you want to see it? Yeah. Is it 3 opportunities to embarrass yourself, or is it 3 opportunities for you to help somebody?
Yes.
For your content to come out there in a sea of useless bullshit and fucking memes, for your content to go out there and spark a fire in somebody, or motivate them, or, you know, have them... teach them something new. Whatever it may be.
That's your growth mindset. Again, it just shows you being you, right? You're like, okay, how do I look at this? No, I'm going to reach people that I need to reach. I'm going to help influence people. I'm going to help improve people's life. Yeah. Whether they know it or not, I'm going to go do it. And that's where you go with your mind. That's what you stay on your thoughts, right? Your thoughts. You're talking about the power of thoughts, not the fact of, I could be a target. I'm going to fall on my face, whatever that may be. That doesn't even matter. Right. And I love that we can do that, because I know at some point in my life, there was a point where I'd be like, oh, you're not posting that about me today. Like, no, I swear on everything. There was a point in my life.
Absolutely.
No, I was running from that.
No, me too, man. Yeah. It's terrifying. But the world is going to be the way you see it. If you go out there and you think that people are going to be fucking mean and they're going to make fun of you, it's just going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. When all of a sudden you do get that comment, you're going to say, look, see, I knew it. But instead, if you expect people to see the best, then that is what is going to happen. Yeah. It's with all, dude, I'm telling you, you got to read this fucking book.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
You are going to love it. It talks all about that, about that. If you go out and you just expect the worst in people, then all you're going to notice is the worst.
Yeah.
But if you just go out and I expect people to be friendly and to be nice, that is what I'm going to notice. And then that is how life is going to be for me, is with amazing people all around.
And the frequency, the vibration that you vibrate at when you're aware of that, oh man, it's amazing.
Much higher.
And you know when you're not vibrating at that because of what it feels like. You're like, hold on, something's wrong.
Yes.
I'm doing something wrong. You start to self-evaluate. You figure out what it is and you get back on track.
Yeah. Well, I had that realization exactly of catching myself. I was in the airport and I was also like kind of like running late for my flight and I'm kind of pissed off, and I was just fucking like looking around at everybody, and I had this moment where I was just like, you know, kind of like making fun of everybody in my head, like, look at that fat motherfucker, this like, and instead I was like, because I caught myself, and I even texted my girlfriend, I was like, I just realized that I was being such a negative motherfucker, and it was even only in my head. I was the only person doing it, but I changed it around, and every single person that I kind of had a mental jab at, I was like, force myself to look at them and see something good in them. I'm like, dude, that guy was probably fucking hilarious. Like, I can so see him with like his grandkids, like cracking jokes, or like, you know, that woman, you know, all these things, just turning around and reversing those things that I thought.
Man, you're an awesome dude, Tyson. No, you don't understand. I love that about you. We need more of that, more people like that. Instead of what's wrong, pointing stuff out, because I get like that too, but I know, it's like you said earlier, that's a me thing. So when I recognize, like, I'm pointing this out about that guy, that girl, I'm like, dude, no, just like what you said, he's probably loved by so many people. She's probably loved by so many people. Who am I to even put that negative, disgusting energy out there? No, I reject that.
Dude, I feel like so much of the human experience, it's the same and it's different, but most people go through some of the same shit. You know, eventually, like as a man, you're going to go through a lot of the same things as other people, where you are going to get made fun of, and you're also going to have a group of friends, you're going to have a great time, or you're going to fall in love with a woman and she's going to break your heart. Like, there's so many different things that we all experience. We're just in different times, at different, and we know that time is relative and all these things, so it's just like, you're really, when you are making fun of somebody, you're just making fun of yourself.
Right.
We're all part of the same fucking thing. We're all in this together. Like, decide to be radiant. Don't be, you know, don't suck away.
I love that, bro. I really love that, dude. And again, I just want to reiterate that. You never know what people have been through and what they've been exposed to. Meaning, I run into some people that aren't the nicest in the world, but I choose to be how I feel about them and how I react to them, because I go, you know what? They may not have had the same experience and opportunity that I have to be the person that I am today. And people need to realize that. You got to realize that about everyone else, and don't be so, what's that word? Self-righteous.
Yes.
Like that, man. Stop being self-righteous.
So in these earlier episodes, I talked about this theme of being a main character and not being an NPC. And I talked more about a lot of like the surface level things, like, dude, take care of yourself, fucking, you know, like, have good hygiene, fucking work out, get your hair cut, like, take care of yourself. And that's part of it. But another part of it, of being a main character, is being focused on things like this, of realizing that not everybody is going through the same thing, and that you never know what problem somebody's dealing with, and to just be a fucking good person.
Yes, man.
But exactly like you said, when you start doing that, when you start accepting that you are going to be a positive person, you're going to fucking light up no matter what's going on, you start to realize how much you just attract people. Like, things just happen. People start talking to you. And it's not like you're doing anything differently just than the way you see things.
1,000,000%. Things, you track things. That is real, right? 15, 20 years ago, you would have told me this, but plus none of this stuff was around to really like look into it. I was like, yeah, right.
Right.
Freaking guy. Like, I'm going to listen to that rich guy. That
rich
rich guy's just going to rip me off, you know? Like, what's wrong with that guy? Now I'm like, it's happened way too many times. I'm a full believer of it, so it's not even like you got to convince me anymore. Now I just go, man. Right? And a lot of times throughout the day, I got to give grace to God. I'm always like, thank you, God. I know that was from you. Whereas before, I'd be like, oh, I got lucky right there. No, you didn't. That was God. God is watching out for you right there, and he brought that to you.
So something that, like, my entire life I've always kind of struggled with was, like, spirituality and this kind of thing. And it wasn't until I really started working on myself that I started to realize, like, all of these gifts that the universe is constantly providing you.
Yeah. You're like, this can't be coincidence.
Right? Dude, I literally, I texted my girlfriend. I was like, dude, like, as soon as I decided to have a clear vision and my every single day actions started to align with what that vision was, you know, these visions of building amazing companies, building a life I want where I'm surrounded by people that I like, that we are all motivating each other to be better, and I'm building the body that I want, I'm being healthy, and I'm taking care of myself. And ever since I started just committing to knowing what I wanted out of life and just started committing to it, and every single day having the actions that backed it up, all of a sudden things just happen for you. Like it doesn't matter. Like it becomes impossible to lose once you become clear in your vision and your everyday actions back it up.
You're aligned with the world, man. You really are. I'm with you 100% on that. 100%, bro. Like I couldn't be more excited right now just being around you right now in this talk, dude. Like just to share with people, I can't wait to get back to the office, not because I'm rushing out of here, but I'm so energized to go out and help more people and to build the business just because the energy, right? Just because of what we're talking about right here. And we're talking about things that we don't just talk to everyday people about. Like this, you know, I'm not trying to say, hey, it's high level stuff.
No, but
it's different. It's different thinking, right? And to be on the same wavelength as somebody else, to have your brain stimulated and think about things that maybe you haven't thought about before, or think about it in a different realm. It's so energizing. You know, the vibration that's in this room is amazing. Again, I can't wait, like, just to continue to see what we build on, how we help each other, and then how many people, you know, actually benefit from
absolutely
us, right?
And that's what I'm focused on right now. Is how can we get this out to as many different people? Because right now, man, I think there's some scary things going on in the world. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and it starts with you.
Yeah.
You can be the change that starts to, because it's all a ripple effect. You help one person. It's not like I became this way because just all by myself. I've had many other people that were able to show me the light in this. So if you're listening and you relate to that, remember, you know, how can you spread that on to somebody else? And it's not about like fucking paying for somebody's Starbucks behind you or shit like that. That's fucking performative. That's lame. No, it's being a good person, vibrating at a higher level. So
I love that, dude.
One thing I love, dude, Ryan is a person, the things you guys got going on with Closers Lab, what you're doing with the Wholesale Intensive, you're seriously teaching things to people that can legitimately change their lives.
Right.
I had we talked earlier, I said, it is out there. You can go make this amount of money. And this is like, I'd say literally, and I don't think I was clear enough about this because I expect to do a lot more, but that's like ground zero. Like that's just kind of like the entry level. Like if there was a job posting, it would say, yeah, the starting salary is between 100 and 200 grand, depending on, you know, how much you actually align with it and how hard you're willing to work for it. But here's an example, dude. You're ready to go do something. Look, he's got a wholesaling intensive. You need to up your sales skills. What Max Menez is doing is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Go check him out at Real Ryan Overcash, and that's at RealRyanOvercash.
Wow. First time, got it. Yes, just like it sounds. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. At Real Ryan Overcash.
Now, if you know of somebody who might benefit from listening to this, I'd really appreciate it if you would click that little fucking thing, the little rectangle with the up arrow. Click that, copy the link, and send it to them right now. Let them know how this can help them. Share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with your business partner, whatever it needs to be. Go ahead and like, subscribe. That shit really does help me. I know it's just numbers on the screen, but again, the whole vision here is we want to help as many people as possible.
100%.
So when you do that, you juice the algorithm, it helps more people see this. Thank you guys so much for listening. Ryan, thank you again for coming on. This has been episode 8 of The Rebellion. We'll see you guys next time.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.